My name is Angus and I hate the new Strokes album. I think I made that abundantly clear yesterday in my TikTok video, but I want to kind of go through some points that were raised by people rebuffing me in the comments, and also just upon re-listening to the album today, where I'm at with it, which by the way was an absolute slog. So this is the main thing that a lot of people are saying is, well, you know, you've only listened to it once, it's only been out for a day, this is going to take several listens, it's a grower. It's not a grower. I've listened to it again, and to be honest with you, it actually got worse. And you know, this isn't some art piece that you need to kind of think really, definitively and clearly about. It's not an Ornette Coleman album. It's not a John Coltrane album, And Growers, for example, I was going to say, this is one of my favorite albums of all time, Love Forever Changes. And I liked it on first listen, but it was only kind of several listens in that I was like, Jesus, this really is one of the best albums ever made. And I love it. And I could listen to it endlessly. And I think I probably will once I'm done with this, so I don't ever have to listen to this Strokes album again. But that's a grower. Not this. This isn't good. And look, if you're a Strokes fan, a Strokes stan even, I'm not going to convince you otherwise, and I wouldn't want to. Because I don't think we listen to music for the same reasons. The music for a lot of people, and I think what the Strokes were going for with this album, which was just to make a vibe, just to make something that kind of goes along with the narrative of where they are as a band, rather than actually writing any decent songs. I'll give you an example of a band from their era that's made an album this year. So I went to see the Cribs at the start of the week, and I did a discography ranking, and I put their latest album second from the bottom because I don't like the production on it. The songs on it, however, are still quite good. In fact, they're very good. And on Monday, when they played a lot of those songs live, they sounded a lot better live than they did on the album. For me personally, when you hear it with that live sound, that live feel that they're really good at, it was a much better, enjoyable experience than listening to the album, for me personally, as a big fan of the Cribs. So when I come to this Strokes album, where are the songs? That's my question. I think only really Going Shopping is if there is a standout on the album, it would be that, because it has an element of immediacy to it, and I think the production just about works on it. And so if there was any song that I was going to praise here, it would be that one. But that's already been out as a teaser single for a while, The auto-tune on the vocals, I don't mind. But then he's been using auto-tune for a long time. This isn't anything new. The opening track, Psycho, Swear Word, ooh, edgy. Dude, you guys in your late 40s, I just find it so cringeworthy. I can't help it. I find it so cringeworthy that they would think that was anything kind of impressive. Anyway. That's got a lot of auto-tune on it, but it doesn't really make any difference to the song. It's already boring and drags on enough without the auto-tune. The next track, Dine and Dash, doesn't really have much auto-tune on it, but it's kind of worse for it because his vocals without the auto-tune are even worse. And then you get to Lonely in the Future, which is, I think, the song, to be honest with you, that I've got the biggest gripe about, mainly because of the lyrics, but also because of the song. Oh, it's so lonely in the future. We're so far ahead of you that you don't understand, you silly critic. Well, guess what, guys? I was thinking about it, and that chord structure that you're using there, that one that's like the C minor to the F to the B flat to the G minor, is the same chord progression that you were using on the last album. G minor, C, F, and D minor. So that's The Adults Are Talking. It's the same chords. It's the same 4 chords that you've used on half the songs on all of your albums. Do you know what I mean? And it's so lonely in the future, and you don't understand. And I know that he's talking about Fantano specifically, but putting Fantano to one side, I think this is an attack on music criticism. I think that certain artists at a level, whether that's Casablancas or Halsey or whoever it is, thinks they're above criticism. They're above the law. Well, this is why we need music criticism at the end of the day, to take these overblown, pompous, odious, snobby cretins down a few pegs. you know? And there's a lot of music critics that I don't agree with. I don't agree with Fantano half the time. I don't agree with Alexis Petridis in The Guardian a lot. I don't agree with Rasheen O'Connor in The Independent a lot. I make my feelings very much known when I disagree with what they say on a new album, but I still read their reviews. I still listen to what they have to say, because at the end of the day, they're a music critic and I have nothing but respect for them as people. No matter how much I maybe sometimes bear-bait them a little bit in my videos when I disagree with them. It's just the way it is. You have to be competitive and you have to be critical. That's what music's all about. That's what pop music, it should be immediate and it should be fulfilling. And that's why this album doesn't do it for me. You know, these songs that go on for 5-6 minutes and they just drag on and on and on. It's so draining. It's so draining and boring. And if you want to put it on in the background for a vibe, then it's probably going to be fine. But for somebody like me, I listen to a band like The Strokes for the immediacy. You're an indie rock band at the end of the day. You go back to Is This It? Is there a song on that album that's over 3 minutes? 3.5 minutes? Maybe there's one that goes on to like 4 minutes long. Tops. Maybe Trying Your Luck or something. You don't need these songs to go on for 6 minutes and to be slow and morose, you know. I think this is what happens when an artist gets so big that there's nobody there to tell them, try again, rewrite it, try harder. I think this is the same problem that Taylor Swift has with the Life of the Showgirl album from last year. It's the same thing, where an artist, someone needs to go in there and say, do you know what? Do it again. Do it again, because it's not good enough. It's not good enough. The instrumentation is naff. The Rick Rubin production, I mean, I've said my piece about Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin's produced, you know, Beastie Boys, The Cult, things I really like and things that I would consider to be classics. But the production on this album and on the new Abnormal is not very good. You could look past it on the new Abnormal because it was a messy album that still had some really good songs in it. And that's the thing. They proved on that album that they could do it. There's at least 3 songs on that album that are in their sort of top 10, top 20 songs in their catalogue. And there's none on here. And for all the people that are saying, well, you know, in time, we'll see how it is in 10 years when this album's really influential. No, we won't. No, we won't. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen, is it? In 10 years' time, we'll look back and go, remember when The Strokes made this absolute dud of an album? It's depressing. And I would rather listen to new indie bands who are deeply and profoundly inspired by The Strokes. Because at least they're a new band that's got something to say. And maybe the point is, actually, that it might be time to call it a day. It might be time to just say, do you know what? We've given it our best shot. We made a great album last time before, and we've made 2 classic albums in the genre, one of which could be argued as the most influential album of the last 25, 30 years. So, why do we need to make another album at this point? What are we trying to prove? What are we trying to prove here? What are we trying to do? Are we just making money? You know, you've done it before, but this isn't it. And this ain't it. There. Is this it? This ain't it. Haha. Really funny there. Really, really funny from me, that one, I have to say. Lovely unbranded drink. Listen. It's going to take time for fans to get over certain things. But remember that we need music critics at the end of the day. Because otherwise, artists will be allowed to run rampant and make albums as flimsy and as pompous and as self-righteous as this one. And we just can't stand for that at the end of the day. We just can't stand for that. And I'll be really happy now that I've finished this video, because I'll never have to listen to this album or think about this album ever again. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And let me know what you think of this album in the comments in extreme and excruciating details. Take care.